If you were following along with me in the previous lesson, we talked about using conditional build tags to pick and choose what's going to be included in our generated output. We could also go to the table of contents and choose not to include entire TOC books or entire topics or portions of a topic. But in those cases, we might also want to generate a different table of contents. This way we're not looking at a table of contents with all of this markup. And you can create as many different versions of a table of contents as you like for any given project. So all you have to do here, still using our Using LDC Tags project, is go to the Table of Contents pod, and you'll see a button here for creating and viewing table of contents. We're going to click that button. We see our default, how to use LDC, and all we're going to do is click the new button to create a new table of contents. Let's call this one our condensed TOC. And what's really nice is we can choose to use an existing table of contents as a starting point as opposed to creating this from scratch. So when we click the checkbox next to copy existing table of contents, we just have to pick which table of contents now by clicking this little browse button. And you can see in the Using LDC Tags project we only have one right now. That's the default, how to use, and we'll select it and click open. So now when we click OK, we're going to have a brand new table of contents called Condensed TOC, and it is going to be a duplicate of the one that we were using, our default. But in this case now we can start manipulating this. We're not going to be using this in our condensed output, so why don't we right-click Managing Your Training and simply delete it. Now we don't have to look at it. Same thing goes for any topics we're not including. We can right-click those and delete them. And in this case, in troubleshooting, we do have a portion of a topic, but we want to keep that topic in our table of contents. So there's our new table of contents called Condensed. Now when we go to generate our output, we can pick and choose which table of contents we're going to use. For example, if we go to Condensed Documentation and double-click, we're ready to generate a printed document called Condensed. And as we scroll down, you'll notice that we have a build expression that's being used. And in that case, we might also want to pick and choose the table of contents. When we click the drop-down next to Table of Contents, we'll see our default, how to use, and our new one here, which is the condensed version. So we select that, click Save and Generate, and you'll have a brand new project generated using the current Table of Contents you just created. So we'll let that generate itself, and then when we view the results, you'll see what that Table of Contents looks like. Really, it's not going to look much different than using the conditional build tags, but for your own purposes, while you're working on the project, you don't have to look at all of that marked up documentation. So there's our table of contents based on the new one we created called Condensed. So we'll close that up and return to our project, and that's all there is to creating another version of your table of contents.